Hi everyone and welcome back to the Picket Fence Studios YouTube channel. It is Erica with you today with a bit of a paper glaze extravaganza. I store my paper glazes in this plastic tray, which is actually a cutlery tray from good old Amazon. And I've somewhat separated them into color families. And I also keep my plastic tools and things like that together with all my paper glazes so that everything is in one spot. So I just need to grab my tray when I'm ready to play and I'm off. Yes. So I am also going to be using a sheet of acetate because I like to keep this under my project. It just makes for such an easy cleanup. And we are of course going to be playing with some slimline stencils. It's no secret that I am completely obsessed with the dashes stencils, but I am going to be using the rainbows and broken fence stencil as well. And when I'm using stencils with fine details, I always add pixie spray to them. It just gives such a clean look to your project, especially when you have something like this, which, you know, it's quite easy to kind of mess up, but with the pixie spray, perfect results every time. And because I have a bit of a penchant for kind of, you know, going mad when I'm playing, I have cut up a lot of pieces of cardstock here. And as you can see, the tops here are damaged, which happened somewhere along the route of being delivered. So not a happy camper. However, I can still use them because I'm going to be using the slimline stencils, which I'm going to demonstrate here. It doesn't even actually go all the way up to the top, so I can cut out the pieces that I don't want to show. So no waste, happy with that. And as I have a penchant for kind of going a bit crazy in my craft room and things tend to escalate, I have cut out loads of these. So I have them ready for, you know, whatever might come next. So first of all, we are going to take our stencils, which have been curing with the pixie spray, so they're nice and sticky. And then we're going to attach these to the pieces of cardstock. And I'm going to just get all three ready so I can just kind of move on if I need to. And what we are going to do here, first of all, is we're going to take some black pansy and some cornflower blue paper glaze, and we are going to put these on. And at first, I think I was trying to kind of keep them separate, but then I realized that by mixing them, I got this like amazing kind of navy blue look. So I kind of just went with it. And then I'm trying something which I called paper glaze printing. So before you remove your stencil, take another piece of cardstock and press down very firmly, but make sure you hold on to it so it doesn't move. And you get a 2-for-1 print. Yes, indeed. And look at that. That is so cool. I love this technique, and I do it almost all the time now because I really love the texture you get from it as well. So we're going to have a look at this clean. So this one is really nice and clean looking. But by pressing that extra piece of cardstock on top, you get this incredible texture in the paper glaze. And because it dries as you leave it, this is going to be textured all the time. So we're going to then clean up our tools and make sure we put our lids on very firmly to make sure that our paper glazes do not dry out. And then we are going to dip into, I thought, jade wine, but apparently we're going for white. Now, I haven't cleaned off my stencil in between, so we are going to get a bit of a grungier look here. But again, what I'm doing here is I've taken two colors but this time I've kept one at the top and one at the bottom. And then we're going to blend them in together to kind of get a bit of an ombre look. And you just, when you have the tools, have a few at hand. It just makes life so much easier. And then we're going to do the same paper glaze printing technique again. So press down firmly and then remove in one move, basically. Yes. So we get another one of these really cool sort of textured print. And you might wonder, what are you going to do with those, you crazy woman? But just hang on and wait and watch. So this one, because I hadn't cleaned it up, you can see that there's like tiny bits of black in there as well. So at first I was like, not sure about that. But then I thought, well, that could be kind of cool. So decided to try something else. So I used the same colors, so a bit more white, a bit jade wine, and then a bit of black at the bottom there. Just going to make it really grungy. And this one turned out really cool. So here we're going to be using the slimline rainbow stencil, and I'm picking out some colors. As you can see, my stencil has been a little bit stained by mixing watercolors with a glimmer paste, I think. So and that I didn't clean it up straight away, so which I should have done. But the yellow there is daffodil yellow, and then we're gonna go in with peony pink and agapanthus purple, and then again cornflower blue because I love this one, and then jade vine, and then at the top we have leaf green. So we're kind of using the stain on the stencil to kind of see where our paper glazes are going to go. And again, because I've done the sort of paper glaze printing technique, which is what I am naming this technique officially, I get that amazing crackled look. But then on the actual print itself, you might see that at the bottom, the yellow probably dried a little bit too much. So what I should have done is before I printed, I should have maybe gone over with just a teeny tiny bit more. And here we're going to move on to a bit of an experiment. And I wasn't sure how this was going to work, but this turned out super, super cool. So first, a really nice, even layer of black pansy all over. And this is with the slimline dash stencil, which is my favorite. So we're going to go in, and I'm using the flat spatula to make sure that I get a really, really nice, even coverage. And then we're going to go in with agapanthus purple. Just a little bit here and there. And you might think, what are you doing? But the idea was to kind of create a bit of a Northern Lights look. And yeah, it was well worth the wait. So cool. And I know I keep like sort of bragging, but yes, it's just super, super cool. So we're going to add a little bit of the yellow, and then we're also going to add a little bit of golden rose, just to kind of get that super goldy shimmer in. And the other colors I've used is again, agapanthus purple, cornflower blue, jade vine, daffodil yellow, and this last one here is golden rose. And I mean, look at that. That is super cool as it is, right? And then, ta-da! Then you get the pattern with the stencil as well. It is so, so cool. And then I thought, hey, look at that. Okay, so there's a little bit of a blob there, but you know, sometimes you win some, you lose some. And here I thought, okay, well, there's not a lot of paste left on this, but I thought, well, I'd just give the printing technique a go as well. And I'm so glad I did, because this one turned out even cooler. I love this one. This one was a total experiment, and I love how it turned out. And then like an utter nutter, I forgot to film some of this. So on this one, I have used Snowdrop White on 2 different shades of grey cardstock, and one with the dashes stencil, and one I've just smeared on to kind of get a bit of a snowstormy look. And then this is the piece of cardstock that I had underneath, and while I was just wiping off the cardstock, I realized that actually that looks kind of cool. So I thought, let's try and recreate that on white cardstock. So we're taking Snowdrop White and we're just kind of slathering it on. And then to kind of recreate that textured look that I had on my cleanup piece, I've taken a little bit of kitchen towel to kind of just sweep it across. And I kind of went a little bit crazy here, but I really like how it turned out. And then just to be on the safe side, measured out using the slimline die cutting stencil, dies, to see that my panel was definitely covered. So on this one, I'm going to be using the snowflakes that I've cut out using the Lydia Snowflake. And this is on some of those panels that I wasn't 100% sure I liked. But this is also the ones that have been done with the printing technique. So instead of just washing off your paper glaze that's left on the stencil, if you do this technique, you can get this really fun and super unique look on your die cuts. So don't throw away anything. Okay, maybe not like ever, but some stuff really is completely irredeemable. But make sure that you look at them with a fresh pair of eyes, maybe not on the same day, but on another few days, like later or something like that, because you could get some absolutely stunning results. So on this one, I am just adding my snowflakes with a little bit of, this is Snow Blizzard Nouveau drops, I think, because I thought, well, if it kind of peeks out a little bit, I'm not going to hate that because it's shimmery. So we're like really over the top going for shimmer this time. And on this card as well, I did use the drops to kind of create a bit of a snow flurry around the snowflakes as well. And then finish that off with a stamp set. So we're just going to have a quick little look at some of the backgrounds I made here. So I haven't finished cards with all of them. However, it's always good to have backgrounds for when you need a card like yesterday. So this one I think will look fun with some like cute snowman or something like that, you know, to try to kind of make it look like a snow blizzard. And this is one of the ones that I've made with the broken fence stencil and the cornflower blue and black pansy paper glaze. And this is the paper glaze printed Northern Lights look, and the actual one I added to a white card base as well. So these ones will all be ready to kind of just be finishing off with some fun or punny sentiments. But look at that shimmer, isn't that incredible? And just look at the difference, like with, you know, you get 2 in 1, so they look similar but still different. I love that. And then we have, this is still a panel which I probably will cut out more snowflakes or something else with. And here is our fantastic rainbow stencil, like rainbow with colors and rainbow with the stencil. So as you can see here, here's some of the leftovers that I cut out the snowflakes with. And I just love the textured look you get from that. I mean, look at that. Isn't that just fun? I mean, that alone with just Merry Christmas or Happy Winter or something like that would be fantastic. But this is the finished card, and as you can see, I did go to town with all the Nouveau drops as well. And I finished it off with just a super sweet and simple sentiment. And one of the grungier looks, I finished off with BFF Elise and Pet All the Dogs stamp sets. So look at that. And both of these colors, images are watercolored. And here, oh, look at that. This stamp set is done with U or Wi-Fi, and I just love how that turned out as well. Imagine that as like a sunset, or maybe I should do that like in sunset colors next time. But so there we have it. Lots and lots and lots of playing, and only 3 cards made out of those, but lots of backgrounds ready for next time I need to make a card very, very quickly. Now for the next 3 photos here, if you pause it, you can write down exactly the things that I have used for each every one of these cards. But they will also be linked down below, and you can find almost everything in the shop. So that's it for me for this time, but thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you've enjoyed this video and will try some of these techniques for yourself. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. See you soon again. Bye bye now.